tracks from the particular volumes that have a real resonance with you, or ones that you're particularly proud that you managed to get?
Yeah, I mean, are we talking about the old albums or the new?
Well, let's cover them all. Let's start from the beginning.
Well, this is a strange one, and disco lovers around the world, you may all laugh at me for this, because I never knew Dr. Buzzard's original Savannah band, Cherche de la Femme, until about about a year before we put this out.
Heresy.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
But does it not show that there's so much stuff out there? I mean, this is not even a particularly rare record.
Everybody would have known that.
Yeah, I did.
That shocks me, actually.
No, but it shocked me because it was so fabulous. Yeah. And I thought, it's almost where have you been all my life type of moments. Yeah. It was, but that's the standout track for me.
But you see, also, I mean, even a veteran like myself, who I pretty much think I know everything.
Yeah.
But I didn't know the Sister Sledge track.
No, of course.
And so I think that's the beauty of these albums. You can be surprised.
Another one on the classic disco for me is Johnny Mathis.
Oh yeah, Gone is a masterpiece, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, classy all the way. He's a great vocalist anyway, isn't he? And the production value on that is just second to none. I mean, diamond precise, I think, that one.
Do you think we'll ever get to hear the unreleased Johnny Mathis Chic produced?
Oh God, I mean, another one of those holy grails.
Of course it is. And Vince DiGiorgio was the one who told me about that.
Yeah, he told me as well.
Yeah.
He's heard
Can you
it.
imagine?
Yeah, he's heard it, but he's never been able to do anything with it. Alan?
Well, for me, I mean, you mentioned Gloria Jones. That to me was the revelation of the whole first four albums to me, because I'd never heard that before. Never. I thought, like you, Ian, I thought I'd heard everything. And I thought
there's one for all of us there.
I thought that was amazing. I mean, absolutely brilliant. I still play that all the time.
It's a bit of a heartbreaker, though,
yeah,
isn't
it
it?
is. And I'm a huge Amanda Lear fan, and we had to have something there. And Blood and Honey, of course, one of our first albums, our first tracks, is there. So I never get tired of Amanda Lear.
No.
You can put it on all the time. Most people think her voice is a drone. Don't think so at all. I absolutely love that. And there's the Ritchie family, of course, there too, which, I mean, any self-respecting disco fan has to like the Ritchie family, or they're in trouble.
Right, we'll move on to Eurodisco. Swiftly on to Eurodisco. I'll have to mention on here Beautiful Bend.
Ah, yes.
That's the meaning,
Mr.
Boogie
Midney
Motion.
again.
This is probably to me one of Boris Midney's absolute best tracks.
His finest hour.
Thank you. Yes,
it is.
Nice way of putting it. It's just
I listen
awesome.
to that. I've listened to it once a week, at least, since it first came out. That's what I think is so. That's the revelation about a lot of what you've put on here. Is it still sounds so relevant today?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not tired. It's not old-fashioned. It's just so brilliant. I mean, and that's why I think I always knew disco would come back. Always knew it. Not that it's ever been away from us. Yeah. But I mean, I always knew that other people would actually suddenly realise what it was all about.
Yeah, don't you think though? I mean, really, it's one of the most bastardised genres of music, because all through the 80s and the 90s, all these like Spice Girls did disco records, boy bands did disco records. It's the one place they can always go to get a chart hit. Yeah. Always. They're going to do a cover, we'll cover a disco record. Well, so it shows that...
And the 70s, of course, was, the thing to me about it, there was punk, there was glam rock going on as well, and disco was seen as like the poor relation.
Yes.
The one that was like, you can't take that seriously. Rock critics weren't taking it seriously, which really used to annoy me.
Yeah, that annoyed me as well.
And you thought, hang on, can't they understand the craftsmanship?
Yeah.
The musicianship that's gone into it? What are you talking about? These are the people who are dealing with 48-track
Studios.
machines, and you're saying that this is just rubbish.
And also classical orchestras in a studio with them.
And the singers who came out, where would have half the 60s singers been if they hadn't had the session work in the 70s by the major disco producers?
Yeah. See, that's the argument I always use. I think there's been an awful lot of revisionism, especially from the rock press.
Absolutely.
Now they all love Chic.
Yes.
But I don't remember many of them loving Chic.
They all slagged it off at the time.
Of course they did.
Remember, let's dance, yowzy. What's this? This is so basic, it's untrue. I always remember that. And they all go, come on. Most of us were in the discos going, this is fantastic, it's something new.
It just wasn't hip. It was almost like a totally different peer group. Entirely.
Well, it wasn't Tangerine Dream or ELO. Those were the people that we were supposed to be aspiring to. Yeah. And as much as I love those, I'm sorry, that's not appropriate.
You're absolutely right.
You got my body moving.
One Messara, Margarita, because I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I mean, I'm a huge Italo disco fan anyway, because I know most of the Italians who are involved in the industry. That is great. I mean, it sounds like a classic, sort of like, really sort of exotic soundtrack that you just dance to. I just love it.
It sounds like it could have come from a 70s Italian spy film or horror film, doesn't
absolutely. It's got that vibe, hasn't it?
Definitely.
Wonderful. Gaz Nevada too. I mean, brilliant. I'm glad you put another, one on the new selection.
Who was Gaz Nevada?
Oh.
Dear, oh dear. Well, they, Nevada Gas. They were from Milan, weren't they?
I think so.
I did the notes and I can't remember. But there you go.
But there's one thing about them is that they hate those two records.
Oh, do they?
They hate them because they were forced into doing them, apparently. But it's the only records anyone remembers them for.
And they banked the paycheck, right?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Before that, I did read somewhere that they were some kind of garage punk band.
Oh, that's right. They did all those Ramones cover versions.
Yeah.
And they were like a bar mitzvah pub touring band, but an Italian version, until they discovered disco. They thought, we'll do this for a while. Made loads of money and thought, we don't want to do this anymore. And then immediately went back to obscurity when they sort of changed back to what they normally did, which is the same old thing.
Yeah.
Again, it's an education process for me, because I missed all that completely.
Yeah.
So, great.
Right, gay disco and high energy.
Oh, well, we've got millions there, haven't we? Me and you, Dave.
Yes, absolutely. I'd go for the Boys' Time going Cruising the Streets, I believe.
We had to get special clearance.
Which we did have to get special clearance from our lawyers because of the use of the C word and various other utterances and blasphemous sexual dalliances that go on in that record. But it's amazing because there's an edited down version of that, which is still a great record, but it doesn't really come to life until you get the monologues and things and the little bit scenarios. Yes,
they were long records as well, weren't they?
Long, it is. It's 13 minutes long, but it never wears itself wears out its welcome, does it? That would definitely be a highlight for me, especially because we were able to include it in its full length version.
Come with me, I wish you would, baby. It feels so good.
I love the Harlow track on this. Take Off for me is just, it brings back so many memories. I can't tell you. I mean, that's what I love about this music. I can put myself exactly where I was, what disco who I was talking to. That's the beauty of these tracks to me. And the Areophation too, Saving Myself. I always loved that.
Yeah, that's a great record. And that's one of Vince's records, Areophation.
Fantastic.
From the Power label.
Too many. I mean, we can go on all all the time about every single track.
I mean, there's a couple here as well I'd like to mention.
Fun.
No. Rose Lorenz, American Love.
Yeah.
It's a sleazy, slow, high energy record, but it's one of those ones that whenever you see, if I've looking on being narcissistic, looking on Amazon, seeing what people are saying about the albums, everyone's Rose Lawrence. Everyone remembers it.
Because it was her only hit though.
It was.
There was never any. She never did. She did an album in France.
Yeah.
But it was the only thing that was ever popular.
Yeah.
And I think she did a version of Mammy Blue as
she
well.
Did. She did. I thought she had some kind of moderate hit with a song called Africa.
Vaguely.
Yeah,
but American Love was.
Yeah, it was.
There was you couldn't go anywhere without listening to that.
It was a great record. And the other one I want to mention is it's on Gay Disco because it's just so camp. But it's Valerie Clare, I'm a Model, which is a funky record. I'm sorry, it's produced by Harold Faltermeyer, who came out of these working with Giorgio Moroder.
Yeah. Axel F.
Yes, absolutely. Damn funky, but I put it on here because I thought I could just imagine Queen's voguing to it in clubs because it's basically like a Kate Moss Time and Model swishing round town and in a kind of half jokey rap. But I think it works brilliantly. So.